Hey everybody, this is Tammy. I just wanted to go over with you today our current fall holiday issue of Project Ideas. It's available as a free download out on our website, and the purpose of today's demonstration is just to go over some additional tips and tricks that aren't included in the issue. First up is our great Topiary Tree. It requires 6 packages of our medium assorted disc, also 2 packages of our assorted small disc. This is a great project to involve the kids in because it's very simple to do, doesn't require any sewing, it just requires some straight pins. Now I picked these metallic pins up. It's a Dritz brand. I did pick them up at Joann's and used my 40% off coupon. The nice thing was they had other finishes besides this metallic silver. They had some green and some red and some brassy colored ones also. Think outside of the box. You certainly don't have to replicate exactly what we've done here in our sheet. Think of some holiday festive ideas or approaches you'd like to do as well. As far as the fabric goes, you can use any kind of fabric for the background and base. It's going to require one of those foam conical shaped forms, and then you're just going to need some glue of some kind, and then also your finished pot or your base in there. I've put some floral foam on the inside and stuffed this grass in here, and I'm going to show you here in a minute how to secure all of that in place to put your tree in. The fabric, you'll just want to take a stretch of fabric. You're going to tear 1-inch strips from the salvage end to salvage end on here, and again, just use your scissors, and let me grab a pair. Use your scissors and just cut 1-inch strips. You can actually even tear them. My scissors aren't very good. I use these for paper. And then just tear those strips all the way from salvage end to salvage end. Now this is the first piece I've torn on this fabric, so my ends are not very straight, but you can press these flat if you'd like. And then it's a matter of, on your form, I like to fold over the ends here, and then just use a pin or some glue, either way, to get started, and then just pin that in place right in your foam. And then you can just stretch as you're turning. Now with the plastic off this foam, it does stay in place a little bit easier. And you're just going to continue to wrap that all the way around the entire foam piece. Then when you're done too, take the bottom of it, sit it upright, and you want to trace around the base of your form, cut it out, and glue it on the bottom. Now that's what I've done here. You can see here on the bottom is that I've just done that. And then I use actually the tip of my scissors to actually bore out the bottom of this to receive the branch to put inside there. And then I'm going to pull some of these discs off of here so you can get an idea. But you can just see the rows of fabric that I've just twisted around. I've secured them just with some extra pins, but you can certainly use white glue as well. It's a matter of from there to layer the small and medium disc together, and then actually sticking through the straight pin into the ball. So pin in the ball through the 2 pieces, secure right into the foam base, and then just repeat that process until your entire foam cone is covered. Now, not an exact science, just want to place those in there, and then you're done. I have an extra one laying around here somewhere. There we go. There we go, all in place. Now, I've decorated in various different points along the foam piece. Also added in some green leaves. Those are just layered between the small and the medium disc there. And I've cut those, just freehand cut those out of the three-piece chunk that we offer as well. I've got a kit put together out there on the website. If you want to order all of the wool components, be sure and visit us out on Etsy there to get those. Then, to complete everything, now I'm going to have to change the camera angle here just a little bit so that you can see what I'm doing. But then, insert the bottom of that tree in there until you have the finished piece. The next project is our spooky spider project. These great little spiders feature an embroidered face with some felt ball eyes, which I'm going to show you and talk you through here, and then also these great wire legs. And that's really the most important portion of this video today, was I wanted an opportunity to actually show you how these legs came together. We've strung our completed piece on regular old garden twine and made a terrific garland out of that. And you can see the full picture in our project idea sheet to get a good idea of how adorable it actually is. From experience, I can tell you that embroidering the face first is going to be the most important step in this process. With your 3cm felt ball, I've used just regular old embroidery floss and embroidered a smiley face and a nose out of the purple, and then I've whip stitched with the length of black embroidery floss, whip stitch the eye pupils right directly into the ball, and just whip stitch those balls right onto that base. From there, it's inserting the wire in the bottom of the ball. Believe it or not, this is only 4 pieces of wire, and I'm going to show you how to insert those and bend them. But we've got front legs, back legs, and then 2 rows of center legs. They're all one piece. Requires no sewing. Just using our felts needle as the tool to make the pilot hole. You may recall this tool in previous tutorials. We use this tool for stringing not only adorable garlands like this, but for making beads out of the balls and to make pilot holes for different projects as well. To make the pilot holes into the ball, what I've done, I've already inserted 3 of the 4 wires that are required here, and we're going to get ready to insert the 4th one in here. However, first I just wanted to show you how to make the loop into the ends of the wire. In your 4 prepared pieces, and I've got 3 of them here and 1 about ready to go, what you're going to do is actually create this circle at the end of the wire there. And how you do that is with your needle nose pliers. You're going to take about 1 inch down from the end of the wire, and you're going to bend it at a 90-degree angle. Now, I've exaggerated this one a little bit just so that you can see and get a bigger idea, but you can make these as large or as small as you'd like. And then with the tip of your needle nose pliers, just tip the end backwards until you have that loop. The nice thing about our wire is it's flexible enough to do what you need to do and rigid enough to hold its shape. Alright, so that's what you do. And then with each of the 4 wires then, you're going to actually insert them into the bottom of the ball. I've got 1 more to insert in here. I'm actually going to take my needle, with a rocking action, just push it through the bottom of the ball here, and make a pilot hole. I like to twist it around just a little bit just so that I can ensure I've got a nice clear path. Because this needle doesn't cut the fiber, it just separates the fiber. It does create a self-healing hole around the medium. And then what you'd like to do from there is actually, I like to push the wire into the eye of the needle and then just chase it through, just like that. So now I've got all 4 wires in here. Now what you're going to do then is repeat that wire bending process again on each of the 4 ends. And I'm going to go ahead and do that for you and circle back. Once all 4 pieces have been inserted and you've got loops on each of the 4 ends, now it doesn't matter if they're straight or what have you, we can adjust all of this later and make them all nice and even. But what you're going to do is just kind of evenly distribute the wires in half in the bottom of the ball. Then what you're going to do, we've got the front here and the back. Let's start with the back. I am just going to bend this in half, just like this, so that those 2 legs are facing backwards, just like that. Now I'm going to repeat that process with the front ones. I'm just going to bend, once they're evenly distributed there, just bend that forward so it looks like that. Alright? So we've got our front legs, our back legs, and the 2 center ones. Then, I like to take the needle nose pliers and then just crimp them down. Crimp down, crimp down, and spin it around. Crimp that down so you got little joints there. So that holds that in place. And then you're going to do the same in the front and the back. I'm just going to crimp that down. Again. Then, you can see you got great little legs here. Then what I like to do is just mess with it a little bit here. Get some nice distribution. And then, taking the needle nose pliers and just flipping up the bottom of those loops so they look more like little feet. That. I'm going to repeat that on the other side. And then, there you have it, an adorable spider ready for stringing. The magical gnomes. These are great little characters made out of 3-centimeter wool balls, a large disc that's been turned into a hat and topped with a 1-centimeter felt ball. We have some wire legs that I'm going to show you how to bend. And then the face, which is only a nose, consists of a nose embroidered out of embroidered floss and a beard made out of yarn. They make terrific ornaments, package decorations. You can even sew on a pin back to the back side of this and use them as a pin as well. Great fun for the holidays. Very festive. To get started, what you're doing is you're transforming our round 3-centimeter ball into an egg shape. The instructions to do this are in the project idea sheets, but basically it's dunking it in hot soapy water and rolling it between your hands and reshaping it. You're going to want to make certain that these are completely dry before moving forward. The next step from there would be taking embroidery floss. I've used pink and I've just made a little nose. And then with a hank of wool, thick wool yarn, I've just whip stitched onto here some loops of yarn to make up the beard. Next step, moving on from there, is the hat. You're taking from our package of large discs a large round disc, and you're going to fold it in half. Now you can glue this, but I will tell you that you're going to be more successful if you hand sew or machine sew the edge on here. What you're going to do is actually, when you fold it in half, you're going to make a stitching line from the edge all the way down. I will tell you that the widest point here, that is about 5/8 of an inch. So I don't know if you can tell on camera, but I've got a yellow thread here so that you can see it a little bit. From there, you're actually trimming off this excess until you have a piece that looks like this. So you can see that there. And then my little tip for attaching the 1-centimeter wool ball to the top is to actually stick it in the top of the ball. And I actually use my finger, and depending on what I'm doing, I'll even stick the tip of my needle nose pliers just to push that ball all the way up to the top of that as far as possible. Then with the needle and thread, I happen to have some embroidery floss left on here, I'm just going through that wool point and going through the ball as well, so it's nice and secure. The nice thing about this is we're going to be turning this right side out. You're not going to see these little stitches at all, or the thread. So just a couple times through, anchor it off, and trim it. Then we're just turning it right side out. And I like to use my fingers to just pull it through, and the ball will eventually come through here. And once you see the ball, you're just going to pull it through. and you've turned this little guy right side out. So there you have a cap. Alright, and that cap would sit right on top there. Now, you can hand sew that hat onto the top or glue it. I've opted to glue mine. I think that was holding it nice and secure in place. Okay, so wire bending the feet. They look pretty complicated, but please don't be intimidated. They're really very easy to do. First step is taking a 15-inch piece of our wire, and I like to have a little ruler handy when I'm getting my needle nose pliers out here. Got myself a little rat's nest. I like to just kind of lay the ruler out, and about 4 inches from the end I like to grab my needle nose pliers, and then I'm going to fold that wire right in half. So you got it like this, and then I like to crimp the ends in nice and tight so you have a nice flat piece. Like that. And then you're going to repeat it on the other end until you have it folded in half. Now, it's going to overlap a little bit in the center. You can leave it like that, or if you'd like, and this is not included in the instructions, you can take a little piece of clear tape and just kind of wrap those ends together so that they stay nice and secure. So then there you have it. That piece of wire folded in half. So, why is it folded in half, you say? Well, that's just to give it a little bit of dimension. You notice at the end that I'm going to actually split these apart. They give it a little bit more visual dimension and more shoe-like, if you will. Okay, so bending the feet. What we're going to do is bend one end of the wire first, then using our Felt's needle, we're going to make a pilot hole in the bottom, run that wire through, and then proceed to bend the other side of the feet. Very straightforward, very simple. But let me show you how to actually crimp the feet. So with our folded piece here, we're going to go, let's say down, let's say 2 inches. I'm going to grab this about 2 inches from the end, and then I'm going to simply start folding. Alright, folding and bending. So I've kind of done a 90-degree angle there, and I've bent what's going to be the base of the heel. And then I'm going to grab this again, a quarter of an inch or so, and then I'm going to fold that up so we've got this right here. Okay? So you can make those as small or as big as you like. Now, what we're going to do is bend this straight down. Okay? And as you can see, believe it or not, that's the heel of the shoe. Now, I'm going to take the end and I'm just going to curl it up like so. Okay? And then at the heel, I'm just going to bend it out just a little bit. Okay? So see, there you go. You've got one end of the shoe. Alright? Basically, it looks like almost a W, a really wide W, but you've got the heel and then the toe. Alright? Then you are going to, like I explained before, you're going to take your Felt's needle and you're going to run that pilot hole right through the bottom here and run the wire through and do the exact same thing on. Well, as luck would have it, my memory card was full, so I just wanted to show this to you again. We've inserted and bent both ends of the wire, and then what I like to do is open up the heels. With your fingers or with the pliers, you can separate the heels. You don't keep the toes tight. Those are kind of nice to be kind of tight, but these the opening here at the heels will help it sit up a little bit. And then if you'd like, bend, you can leave them straight out or bend them towards the front a little bit. And then they'll actually sit upright if you'd like. They make great package decorations, great ornaments. I even like them without feet. They're even cute like that. And you see there in the back how we've glued everything in place. Again, ornament, package decoration. Even don't forget that pin back. Make little gnome pins for your coat lapels for this winter and holiday season. Have fun. Remember lifesaver ornaments? Actually ornaments made out of a roll of lifesavers. Well, this is Kim's adorable take on that theme, and it incorporates our 1.5 centimeter balls and utilizing strips also of our chunk pieces. The instructions in the project idea sheet are very straightforward and very simple, but couldn't resist putting these on camera because they're so cute. You use your felt needle and some cording or thread, lightweight stuff. You can see here by the little hanger on here how thin it is. String these and decorate the faces. They're just wonderful. Last year's 2011 issue of Project Ideas featured these wonderful doorbell hangers that utilized our 3 centimeter felt balls and large bells in metallic colors and matte finishes. There's even some glitter ones in some of the pieces we did. We made some fabric ribbons and then put it all together. But the variation I wanted to show you today is, look how wonderful that same project is, scaled down in a smaller version. Makes great package decorations or ornaments for the holiday tree. Utilize the 2 centimeter felt balls and the smaller bells. 1/2-inch ribbons really make a decorative touch there. Use different colors. This one's kind of in some fun, almost birthday colors, very festive, very non-traditional Christmas colors. Or you can do some others in some more traditional colors. But scaling that project down does beautifully for a package decoration or an ornament. Another great project variation is our Halloween version of Witchy Poo. She is actually a variation of not only the gnome in this project idea sheet, but also the spooky spider. We've kind of combined some concepts from both of those projects into her face. Obviously, the eyes from the spider. The body of her face is actually the reshaped ball from the gnome project, as is her hat. The only variation or difference there is we've added a medium disc to the bottom, and you can glue or stitch that on so that you have a brim of a hat there. And then I hand cut with my scissors a little buckle and glued that on there. Reshaped a green 1 centimeter ball so it was more elongated and whip stitched that on, complete with an embroidery floss wart, and then a nice little smiley face along the same lines as what we did on that spider, and then a tooth for good measure. A great little variation on a couple of different projects. Lifesaver ornament variations. Look at this terrific witch variation on that theme. It incorporates the hat that we made from the Witchy Poo, which is a direct relationship to the gnome there, and this one doesn't have the ball on top, but look how cute that is. Here's one with a little beanie hat and is more in the candy corn colored theme. Isn't that cute? Have fun. Get the kids involved in these. You'll have a great time.